Hi everyone, today I'm going to make a Winnie the Pooh clay snail. So it's basically Winnie the Pooh, but in the shape of a snail. It's something I like to do just in my free time, so I hope that you guys can also do it and enjoy that too. So we're going to start with baked clay. So what colors you're going to need are red, orange, and brown. Also yellow if you want to add some honey spilling out of Winnie's honey jar. So it's optional. But you're going to start with the orange color. Okay, so you don't need too much. I would say about this much, about an inch of clay. And you're just going to, right now it's probably going to be pretty stiff, so you're going to have to just mold it a little bit more with your hands. Just roll it up. Make sure that it's nice and squishy. And to know that it's ready, as much as you're doing this, you're going to see that there's some cracks still. So the more that you mold it, the less you'll see that. So just do this a few more times. You know, do it like that, do some rolling, and then you'll be ready to go. Okay, so you're going to roll it out more. And you're just going to keep doing that until you have a little worm shape. Okay, so this is about the shape you're going to want to start. Be as long as you want. This is probably the better way to roll it, to be honest. Okay. So you decide which end is the head of Winnie. Whichever end that is, first we're going to pull that apart. We just have this head and then this body, because we're going to put his red shirt in between his orange body. I'm just going to take a little bit of red clay. Again, not too much. Just a little pinch like this. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to make sure that's nice and squishy. You're going to roll that up, and then you're going to do the same thing, but this doesn't have to be as much because this is just the shirt. So as long as it's about the same length as your worm, and then you're going to stick that right there. That's where its shirt's going to be. And then you're going to do the same thing with the head. So now just attach all of those things and then roll it up a little bit more. Maybe squeeze it together a bit just so that it's really stuck on there, and then just even that out. Okay, now comes the fun part. We're going to roll this up in the snail shape. So you're going to start at the very end, and you're just going to tuck that in and then just roll it up. And boom. Now the next step, you want your snail to stand upright. So you're going to get something that has a flat edge. And you're just going to press down so that it stands upright. And when you bake it, it'll stay that way. So now we're going to add the smaller details of Winnie, which are the ears, and if you want, if you're feeling really up to it, the face. So, we're going to start with the ears. We need a little bit more orange, and this time, when you take the clay, we're going to take a very, very small amount, just so that it is about the size of a tiny snail ear. So, I took this tiny little ball. It's about a pinch, maybe about like a half, maybe like a centimeter about, and then just split that in half. So you're really working with some small details here. So if you are a child watching this, you may need a parent's help for this. Okay, and then you're going to stick it on one side. That's one. And then we have the other. And there you go. You got your little Winnie ears, little bear ears. Maybe just mold that however you want to make it as fit as you like, whatever you like to have your best possible looking Winnie. Okay, so next we're going to add the face, and this is where the brown comes in. I have this giant clump. You don't really need that much because it's just some face details. You can also use black clay for this, but I didn't have any because I used it all up. So I just have brown, and that works too. So first we're going to add his little bear nose. And that could be a triangle, it could be a circle. I think either one works. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pinch it like this. And then I'm just gonna flatten that. And then we're gonna put it right on in the middle. There you go, you got a little bear nose. So now we're gonna add some bear eyes. And again, it's a very small amount, about the same much that you used for the nose. Maybe even smaller for the eyes. I really use the smallest amount of clay I possibly can. It's very tiny, but it will press in and make a really good eye. This is actually starting to look more like a koala, but that is fine. It's still very cute. Okay. And then we have one more. Again, very tiny. Just make sure it's a tiny little ball. And you're just gonna press that right on. There you go. And now we're gonna add his honey jar. And that's also going to be brown. So you're just gonna get a little tiny amount, maybe about that size. Let's say that's like about half an inch, maybe quarter of an inch. Just make that into a little ball. So you have a tiny little ball. And now we're going to make the lid. Lid. Okay. And you're just going to roll it up in a ball and then you're going to flatten it. And that's going to be the lid. You're just going to put that right on. Boom. Lid. And then to make it look like he's holding it, you're just going to put that right on the side. And that should stick in the oven. There you go. Alright, so, and then an optional detail, you can add honey dripping down the side. Because you know Winnie likes to get messy. He really likes his honey. Okay. It's just going to be a little tiny teardrop shape. Just going to make a little ball and then squeeze with your fingers so that it flattens it. There you go. It's really hard to see, but I will show you how that works right in a second. There it is. Very tiny little honey drop. There you go. You have little Winnie Snail, Winnie the Pooh. Also, I forgot to mention, the reason I didn't include the instructions for baking is because every baking clay product is different, so that's why I included the directions on the package that I used, but it really just depends on what you have. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoy making this, and let me know if you do, and maybe share it, send some pictures. Alright, thank you everyone.